This is John, Vintage Fisherman. Kind of a big day here on the workbench. Excuse me, I gotta get me a fresh rag out here. I hit 6,000 views this morning, and to celebrate that, I'm going to do a reel that's special to somebody who's special to me. My girlfriend's father and grandfather were fishermen. Her father was he fished the the BASS tournaments years ago. He's since passed. Her grandfather, big bass fisherman. They grew up on the James River, a little town called Buchanan, Virginia. And this was her dad's and possibly her granddad's. It's a Ted Williams 440, made by or sold by Sears Roebuck and Company, made in USA. It's pretty much locked up. It was passed down to her, and I'm going to make this a usable reel again. I left my bench dirty because you can tell by looking at it, there's nothing clean about this reel. It's got cobwebs on it, dust, or it looks like it got pulled out of the bottom of the lake or the river, possibly. So let's just see what we can do with it. Handle nut handle. There's a star washer underneath there. Take the drag. Underneath the drag, it's real important you pay attention here. I'm sure I can find schematics on this reel. There's a spring. I'm not sure exactly how all that comes out, but let's take a side plate off first. I kind of feel like that'd be the best line of attack here. Yeah, these little small screws, sometimes it's hard to find the right screwdriver for them. Don't know the vintage on this reel. I want to say 70s maybe. Might be going back to the 60s even. Had to go down the screwdriver size. These slots are fine on these screws. So we're going to the, I use these Pittsburgh Harbor Freight precision screwdrivers more than any tool I got here on the bench. Alright, that comes out, and there's this return spring for the knob, and then the knob comes off. It hasn't been in the bottom of the river because there's no dirt up inside that. It's in very good shape. I've taken some reels apart like this in the past. I know to get, well, maybe not, because this one does have screws in the cover. Let's take it off. This is made where you can switch it from one side to the other, I believe. And I'm not sure. She's going to fish with it probably, so I'll have to figure out which way she wants it set up. I've got some nice old rods to put this on that were also her dad or granddad's. We're not sure which. We're still trying to figure all that out. Her mom might be able to help us with some of that. Okay, the anti-reverse dog in there is, looks like the spring is locked up or something going on with it. I want to say, we're going to leave this alone for a minute and think about it. I want to say this nut comes off of here. Yes, it does. Alright, take that nut off. I'm going to lay everything out here. Yeah, thing went flying. That was on the outside. That was on the inside for the anti-reverse dog. I want to say that should slide out of there, but yeah, there's got to be a drag washer underneath there. It's pretty gummed up. This may require some oil. Good old penetrating lube. Let's see if it'll soak down in there. It's coming. I don't think this drag has worked in a while. Really need something else to sit up under that, but I don't have a socket that size down here. I don't want to make contact with these teeth with anything hard. So, hey, wait a minute. No, that's just barely too big. Hey, whoa, here we go. Electrical tape for the win. There we go. Check it out. All right, let's get this block out of the way. Okay, no drag washer there. It's just a, I don't think it's a drag. Yeah, maybe, no, well, yeah, I don't know. We'll deal with that in a minute. This comes out of the gear. There is a drag washer right there. Maybe. It's got a chip out of it. Be careful with it. I can probably, you know, yeah, it's a drag washer and it's stuck. I'm gonna leave it right there. We're gonna leave well enough alone. I think this is also a drag washer. It is. I can probably match these up with something I have here in stock. Okay. We'll probably put that in a cleaner and see what we can do with it. I think this nut right here this screw comes off right here. Yes. I've got a eagle claw rod, bait caster rod, over there. It's got to come off. Don't come off like that. Phew, I don't like this. Compress that spring that far, but just thinking to myself here, folks, as I go, I'm pretty sure that's got to come off. It does. That mechanism up in there is going to get left alone. We'll clean it. That's got a lock in it. It looks like. There we go. Spool is out. This can come off. And then this should, well, that gear is stuck. Let me give that some help. You want to see something amazing, watch how fast this works. It's hard to beat WD-40. So what's happened here is I compressed that spring. Oh gosh, come on. Goodness gracious. Lots of force going on here. I compressed that spring to get the spool out, and it's locked. We'll get it. It just needs a little extra. Needs a little extra help here. Let's see if I can't hold that. Oh, it ain't moving. Well, see, this will all come out without that gear on there. Maybe. All right, here's what we're going to do. There's more than one way to do this. We're going to take that little keeper off, and hopefully it doesn't go flying across the room. Whew. Don't know how I got that back, but I did. So that comes out. There's the spring, which is still in excellent shape. No shims. That was between the gear and the housing, I believe. And there it is. That's the entire reel. That's it. Well, I don't think there's anything else I can take off of this. That's pretty simple and straightforward and should clean up just fine. See how it works? I don't see any problems there. The spool's in great shape. We'll clean this up and make a beautiful little reel out of it. I see why it was locked up now with this shaft being really ugly here. We will definitely polish it up and make it smooth again. Just giving it a little hit with some emery cloth here. I could also chuck this in the drill and really get it slick. This is going to be a nice reel when it gets done. It's got a lot of potential. All right, folks, I'll be back when I get ready to put it back together. Thanks for watching. Hello, I'm back. I've got this beautiful old family heirloom Ted Williams 440 spin casting reel cleaned up, and we'll start the assembly process. Had to go back and look at the video. It's a bit of a challenge. Complicated little reel. I think I got it though. I think we're gonna try. It gets the spring. Oh goodness. All right. I'll let it's really slick. It was almost locked up when I started on. In fact, it wouldn't. You couldn't press the button for the cast control at all. It just wouldn't happen. So we're gonna get it there. It's gonna take a little bit of effort to get. Well, maybe not, because it. Well, yeah, it will. This washer's got to go on there. The problem I got here is if this thing slips, these parts are gone. If these parts are gone, I'm not gonna be happy, because this is a family heirloom. So I don't want to lose these parts. This reel means something to somebody very close to me. Actually, a couple of somebody's very close to me, and I don't want anything to happen to it. So, okay. I think the thing to do here is to hold it in my palm like this. I got the spring compressed. I'm going to work that washer down. And I really hope I can get this other piece in there. I don't know. I may have to take it back apart and do this all over again. So, please bear with me. That part, I'm going to use my forceps. And I'm really barely hanging on to everything here. Okay, I got it. All right, we're to that point right there. This reel is set up to be right hand retrieve. I think you can change it around, but before I get too far into that, let's put some lubricant on this thing. I believe I'm about to need a new bottle of oil here. So I'm not sure, you know, who's going to fish with it or how they're going to fish with it. So I'm going to, oh gosh, it's something. I know what I need to do here. I need to put this screw in the end. Now give me something to hang on to. How about that? And then, like I said, this was set up for, so you got to get that up in there and then get it down over top of that shaft, and it slides into there. Okay, and that will make contact with the shaft over here to oscillate the spool. We're going to give that some oil. All right, let's give the pinion gear some grease. Spin that pinion gear around. Good idea to put that nut, that screw on the end. It gives you something to hang on to while you're working on all that. Okay. Let's give that just a little bit of grease up there where it rubs that. Super smooth now. All right. Let's see what's next. I'm pretty sure you got to put this plate on first. I think. This is the spring. But what does it hook to? Interesting. Very interesting. Well, we know this goes into there. And we know this will have to go, you know, through there, of course, but I guess that just, it lays up against the housing is what it does. This was actually on the reel the wrong way, if I remember correctly. It's going to be a bit of a bear to get in there. I think I'm going to wait till the last thing to do that. Okay, these two things go on very last. Let's put this gear housing back together. The drags are a little rough. I found some drag washers that actually go on a Daiwa that are the right size, I believe. So I'm gonna look at these and just compare. I bought these for a reel and I ended up not doing anything to. Oh, that's really close. Yeah, I think we can use these drag washers, so we'll have new drag in it. It'll be a good solid drag. Yeah, those old original drag washers are looking a little rough. Put one washer under there and leave the gear goes on like that. And it gets another washer. These are Carbon-Tex drag washers. I mean, can't get much better than that, can you? I apologize for the hoarse voice. Everything's blooming. Let's see here. That should go on there like that. That's feeling a little rough. But then again, it doesn't really spin so much. Let's get some more. That's just the only time that spins is when your drag is taken up. I know that this piece here went in like that. It has to be seated. So there it goes. And the rest of this I think has to go on the outboard side of this handle. Now it wasn't working right. I want to say, let's set that down for a minute. It's got to go like this. Yeah. And so when the reel's spinning a certain way, it picks this up and pulls the anti-reverse dog down against. Let's just see. I'm going strictly by no, it's not really working the way I want it to. Yeah, it's not really working the way I want it to, so I'm still not right here. Let's that's the way it looks like it goes in there though. Maybe, just maybe, it needs to be bent a little bit. Yeah, let's try that. Because it looks like it rides on that recess right there, so we'll try to get all this up in there and see what happens. Oops, I let it slip off of there. That's not good. Let's try that again. Yeah, it's fun. It's different, and that's why it's giving me trouble. I haven't had to, never done one with this kind of a anti-reverse. Well, I've done ones with the anti-reverse that has the spring, but not quite like this. This is different. Now that spring is going to have to be worked on it all the way around, and I'm working blind because I can't see it dang thing. Let's see if that didn't do the trick. You know what? It kind of does work, but not like I want it to. It should be pulling that. Yeah, it should be pulling that gear down. Interesting. I can't put it on here first, but it sure does look like it goes on there first. Yes, it does. Well, let's just see what we can do with it here. I'm gonna try to force it where it'll, or bend it where it will stay on that gear a little bit better. And we're gonna see what we can make out of it. This will go on. There's a groove cut in that area right there, and that sits in there. And I think what I have to do is I have to put all this together and somehow or another sometimes these little reels they'll give you a run for your money, and this one's giving me a run for my money. Let's see what we can do with it here. I think I got that right, but there's no way to, I'm not gonna say there's no way to do it, but it ain't gonna be easy. Oh boy. There, I might have got it just now. Hopefully it's all, look at that. I got it. Alright, that's how the anti-reverse works. Now we got to get that reseated. That's found its way out somehow. There we go. Alright, it took this washer and this nut, and that holds the whole assembly in the shaft. How's that going to work? I think I'm going to have to use the handle as a wrench. Don't fall out now. Oh my goodness. No, I guess it did. It's trying to. Okay, got that. Okay. Now it got the spring and this washer. And I need to put a little bit of grease on there and a little bit of grease on there, and this star drag will thread down on. Let's see, it should be the prettiest side out, so it'd be like that, I think. Okay. Then your handle, star washer, which is basically an anti-reverse washer. I mean, a lock washer, I'm sorry. I'll get my nomenclature right here in a minute. And then the handle retaining nut. And it doesn't want to thread down for some reason. Why is it not threading down? I know it's not cross-threaded. Hold the handle, maybe that'll work. There we go. We got it now. That is it right there. Look how smooth. And I haven't even oiled it yet. There's an oil hole right there. Makes that task simple, doesn't it? We'll oil that handle. I'm gonna wipe this piece down. I got a lot of greasy fingerprints on it there. Hang on. All right. Look at that. Isn't that sweet? It's a real sweet reel. It really is. Now this piece here, this piece oscillates your spool, so I'm thinking I need to put the spool on there next. And it clips into place. So there's two pegs that comes off of this. This, like I said, this oscillates your spool back and forth to level line the line on it. Your spool's got two locks on it that lock into those pins. And you basically just get it lined up and twist it backwards, and then see it will got the spool locked in place now. Yeah, that's it. Okay, now let's go ahead and put the side plate on there. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not sure which side plate should go on first. Something tells me I should probably put this side plate on first, just to get that handle or release button on there, because I can see it through this other side. Let's do that. Let's put this on there first. This was locked up when I started tearing this reel down, so you know, you can't really do much with this when you drop it on the ground. You can't do much with it until you get the reel together. So I'm trying to figure out exactly if I want, I'm thinking out loud, folks, just bear with me. If I want the handle to, oh, come on. This is gonna be tough, I ain't gonna lie. That thing don't want to go up in there. I'm thinking I have to stick it in here and then put it, I don't know. Yeah, so if I want the handle to spring back, I need this part, this leg against the top of the housing. Okay. Oh my goodness. Folks, the things we do for fishing reels. Let's get this in there. This might not be too bad after all. And you put that in there and line that up. Look at this. I might actually look like I know what I'm doing on this reel. I've got another one of these reels. It's not a family heirloom. It's one I picked up to do, and then this one came along, and my girlfriend showed it to me about a week ago, and I thought, you know, I really need to fix that up for her family. And it was either her dad's or her granddad's, and you know, I know how I'd be if it was my. I would have dove into it first thing. I couldn't have waited to get home, and I really couldn't wait to get home to do this one. And like I said, I've got another one to do sooner or later. So that one, see there, now the handle, see that handle was locked up because the spring had fallen off of it before. So we're good now. I can give that just a little more oil there. Now, we're about done here. We gotta give that some grease and then grease the gear. So it's got an upgraded drag. It's got more drag than it will ever need. I'm thinking about maybe 10-pound test on this reel. And somebody's gonna fish with it. I'm gonna make sure of that. So we're gonna make sure somebody fishes with this thing. Now, to get that to line up there, I think we need to make sure this is in the farthest back position, like that. And I think, yeah, we got it. Huh, look at that. Amazing. It's complicated, but it ain't complicated. Let me get that screw started. It's being complicated. Okay. Why is it not wanting to start? Well, that's interesting. Well, oh, I see. I'm way away from the hole. It's got spring tension against me, so once I get one started, the others will go pretty easily. Oh boy, it's really working against me. I'm not sure what to do with that. I'm running out of hands here. Nope. Gotta get a better grip on it somehow or another. Put these in, maybe they'll go in. None of them will line up. Wait a minute, we might be on to something now. Okay, got one of them. Got two. All right, all three of them are in. That was a bit of a challenge. Okay, but you see how that works. That oscillates that spool up and down, just like a open face spinning reel. Really, really neat. I really like that. I did notice I need to put just a little dab of grease up there where that push button hits the back of that shaft. That'll smoothen that out a little bit. Okay, I know why that's doing that. All right. Next is this guy. And it takes this screw in the very end there. I'm going to put a little bit of grease there where it goes in. This is the last part to put on this reel. That'll go in. I need to get that tight, so I'm going to switch screwdrivers here. I think the whole thing's turning. Okay, that's made to do that. I think if I tighten the drag down, it might keep that from turning. And I can get it a little bit tighter. Okay, we got that. Look at that, just like it's supposed to work. And of course, your cover, you line the slots up and turn it on. there it is. Let me give it a wipe down to get all those greasy fingerprints off of it so it'll be nice and shiny. Another successful mechanical restoration of a reel. It is what it is on the outside, and I think there's probably a lot of memories to every rub and scrape, so we're going to leave that alone. The rod that this was mounted on is going to be rewrapped. It was on a Wright McGill bait casting rod, and I know someone who does some beautiful work. He's going to rewrap it for me. And what a nice old reel. Ted Williams 440. And like I said at the beginning of the video, the channel hit 6,000 views. Actually, it's at 6,100 views now. And man, I really appreciate it. I never really set out to to do anything more than just to educate people on how to take their reel apart and put it back together, or how to upgrade their fishing reel if they wanted to, or how I go through the restoration process. So it's been a real pleasure. And some of the questions and comments have been awesome. I don't think I've had but maybe one negative comment out of many, many comments. And, it wasn't really negative. It was just an opinion, and I'm cool with that. We all have those, and it's freedom of speech. You say what you want to say. But I really enjoyed making these videos, and getting ready to get into doing some fishing content now that the weather's starting to break. Was going to go last weekend, had plans, had all the gear together, had the cameras charged. We were going to go do some trout fishing on a stock lake. And Saturday it poured rain. And Sunday the wind blew about 60 miles an hour. It was just not good fishing conditions, and it was cold, cold, cold Sunday. It was 45, but it felt like it was probably 20 or something, So I'm just not into fishing in that cold weather. I'm too old for that. That was my younger days. I'm old now. But anyway, I really appreciate everybody watching. Please like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel and come back for some more. Got a few reels lined up, some misfits on my misfit shelf over here that are going to get fixed. And there'll be more coming. It'll be a little bit less... There'll be a little bit more fishing content and slightly less fishing reel repair content. So hang in there. I appreciate you watching. It's John, Vintage Fisherman. Y'all take care.